Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are jumping into the arena to check out Tiona, specifically the new brotherhood she's bringing to the game, which is the Firestorm Squad. We'll go over how you can use it, where it could be useful, counters to it. Short, it's essentially a rebirth of the Nuke Squad. It's very high damage, very quickly. It's very interesting. It works the same way, but instead of relying on the enemy having multiple debuffs and buffs, it relies on one debuff. So that's where all the damage is going to come from. Similar counters come, though, to the Nuke Squad. Obviously, characters that can lock you down. Characters that can cleanse are going to be an issue. It all relies on speed, though. If you can outspeed the opponent, which is such a shame. I hate that a meta is determined on speed. Speed is such a toxic stat in games. I hate it. I hate how if you go first, you have, I'm not saying you're going to win, but you do have a huge advantage going first. So we'll jump into the arena. We'll be versing a full Orc squad because, yeah, why not? Why not? So we'll jump in and check this out. So the Firestorm squad comes with 4 members. You've got Tiona, the leader. You have Succubus, Gatekeeper, and Balthazar. Now, Tiona being the leader offers bonuses to these characters. Succubus has an extra debuff to her abilities. Honestly, neglectable. If you're building a squad, you could almost replace Succubus. I don't see why you couldn't, as long as it's a dark hero or a witch. That's probably what you're going to be looking for. Gatekeeper, however, not a huge buff, but the benefit he gets is that he starts the battle going first. He is one of the slowest characters in the game, one of the most useless characters in the game. However, going first, and now with the ability to actually taunt, as long as Tiona is your leader, does give him a little bit of value. And then Balthazar starts with 5 stacks of the token. Now, that's huge for Balthazar. Like I was mentioning before, with the state of the meta at the moment, it is heavily dependent on speed. You do not have the opportunity in fights these days to ramp up characters. Characters that need a build up are a huge hindrance. I'm not saying there are situations where you can't use them. It's just painful because there are so many characters in the game that can impact your team immediately. Chrome, for example, can just do tremendous amounts of damage off the bat. You've got Mordred, who can reset initiative, who can polymorph. Okay, you've got Tyros. He's not huge anymore, but he can lower the whole team initiative. He can impact with a huge amount of damage very quickly. These teams are just built to take out targets very fast. So to have a character like Balthazar, who has to wait at the max 5 turns to get the full use out of him, you are now having the opportunity to start a battle with him being able to have 5 stacks and apply all the debuffs immediately when his turn comes around. So that's huge for him. And that's what I mean. Out of the 3 of them, Succubus probably got shafted the most because she's still quite useless, which is a shame because on paper, she's not a horrible character. And the 5th spot is open for you to choose who you want to use. Now, remember, Tiona works best with dark heroes and witches, so you probably want to chuck one of those in there. And yeah, so we will chuck in Belladonna. That's the 5th character we'll be using. We will use Succubus, so again, you could easily throw someone else in there. I don't think you'd see huge impact on the battle, but like I said, just theory crafting. So yeah, we'll jump in now. We'll verse the full Orcs, and I'll show you how the team works. Okay, so jumping into the arena, and I replaced Belladonna with Mordred. The reason for this was because there was a turn sequence happening where the G'dan was removing our debuffs, which ruins this team. So that's unfortunate. So we're putting in Mordred. Now, you will start with Gatekeeper. What you want to do here is you have 2 options. Rage of the Abyss with Tiona. He's going to apply Mockery debuff when he hits a target. Now, the issue with this is the attack can miss. They can dodge, fortify. So you're not getting the full taunt out. However, you can go ahead and just use Cannibal Hunger instead. This is just going to straight up put a taunt on Gatekeeper, so he'll have Provocation. So we're going to go ahead and use Provocation. Now, attacks can apply static to the enemy, but they need to have static on them. So it's not a big deal. And as you can see, even with 50% damage reduction, we still take a lot of damage. And now we have the opportunity to reduce the enemy initiative. This is huge for us because now it is also going to give us the turns we need. We're going to go ahead and start applying the stacks to the enemy. We want huge stacks. We got 5, 5, so we got a total of 10 on the enemy. And now comes along our Balthazar, who has already 5 tokens of darkness, and we're going to apply the huge amount of debuffs to the enemy. And then we're going to go ahead and silence the Mordred here, so he's unable. Was that a fortify? Oh, did we lock him? Can't attack Succubus for 2 turns. Block buffs. Some of these characters are he's locked anyway. Mordred comes through. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and use our Rage of the Abyss. Now this is going to increase the stacks. Beautiful. We've got a nice little 7 stacks there. 5 stacks on our Chrome. Are there any other stacks anywhere that are just hiding? I don't think so. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just go ahead and use our basic attack because I want to... There's no real reason to polymorph anyone, to be honest. No one can cast any abilities, but here we are. Now, here's the big detonation. So we've got a fair few stacks. Mordrake got stacks because he attacked his range. So we've got 4, 11, 15 stacks. So we're going to go ahead and use the big AoE, which detonates all stacks on the field. And boom, there we go. Beautiful. Now, remember that these are orcs, so once they drop below 30%, they do take a significantly less amount of damage. But as you can see, if that was any other regular team, you would have straight up wiped them out. There would have been nothing they could have done there. Again, I don't really feel like I need to polymorph anyone. I'm going to go ahead and polymorph the Chrome anyway because we can. I'm going to whip Mordrake there. We're going to go ahead and take out the... whip Gadan, and we're going to go ahead and take out Mordrake. And then we'll finish off with Lascari. There's nothing that Chrome is going to do. He's polymorphed for 3 turns. Literally the most ineffective character right now because there is a little kick. But this Lascari is, she's just really... Oh, she's got the invulnerability. Doesn't matter. And then we go ahead and take out the polymorph. And again, this character is just really just hanging in there, isn't he? There we go. Beautiful. So, yeah, very interesting team. Can just do huge amounts of damage. But, like I said, very ineffective against teams that can remove debuffs unless you can lock that character down. I locked the Mordrake, the Gadan down, I locked the Gadan. He wasn't able to remove the static charges. It would be the same for Archons. Sakrif could remove those stacks. Any faction that has an inbuilt ability to remove debuffs, you're going to have trouble with. So it's a very niche brotherhood, but it has the potential to just wipe out enemies very quickly. So how you use it, up to you. So a good Clan Wars team. Honestly, hopefully they just get rid of Clan Wars. Not in this video, that's not what this video is about. You do have Cradle of Chaos, but to be honest, it's only going to be effective against boss nodes, if that. Because, there's still the opportunity for the enemy to just absolutely eliminate you before you can get those stacks up and explode them. So, very early on in Cradle of Chaos, you may be able to get a few bonus points in Region 1, Region 2. Region 3, end of Region 2, not so much because this team reduces healing and shielding by 90%. You're not going to be able to survive waves of enemies, which is the downfall of the team. It's only good against one wave enemies, and even then, I said there's a lot of things fighting against it. In the new form of the tournament, you may find some use. Again, the issue with the tournament is we've got a lot of Mordred squads, so this team, if usable, is not going to be usable for a while because it is not going to be able to beat Mordred squads. Mordred will reset your initiative. This team does not survive with initiative reduction. It needs to get the stacks out ASAP. It needs to be detonated ASAP. It's a 2-round team. If you cannot kill the enemy in 2 rounds, you are not going to succeed. It's just not capable of doing so. The characters on the team do not have the damage capabilities to wipe out the enemies that the game has today. Succubus, she seems like she's got good damage. Balthazar, can get guaranteed crit. Gatekeeper, can do okay damage, but when you're going up against Dragonkin, Beastmen, Orcs, their damage alone is not going to be enough. You need to detonate the static charges. So just keep in mind of that. It is a cool team. I really do like it. I like the concept, and I'm saying that disregarding everything else in the game. The team itself is neat. Don't get me wrong. How you use it, though, we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, she's still a witch. She doesn't need the Brotherhood. She can be placed in a witch's team, and the witch's characters alone are solid, so you may start to see people using witch teams soon enough. There you go. If I've missed something, feel free to let me know. I will double check though with the damage at the beginning of that battle, because it really felt like that Gatekeeper took a lot more damage than he should have. I will double check that. So just keep in mind, don't take those numbers as they were. I will, follow through. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.